guys, welcome back to another exciting video. When I saw this video, I was like, what? Today's video is from AJ Plus. It's titled, I was forced into adoption because I'm black. What? Was forced into adoption because you're black, because of your skin color? Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm here for it. Before we dive into it, my name is Ogechi. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, hi. Please do consider liking this video. Give it a thumbs up, that's like. Subscribe, okay, and turn on the notification bell. Share, please, to help reach out to other beautiful people and amazing people. Let's get straight into the video.
I'm in Korea to find my mother. The police is searching, but I'm searching myself too. I'm Simon Hokweda. I'm from the Netherlands. I was born as Kim Kwon-si. My birthplace, I'm not sure where it was because it's demolished. And it could be right behind me, or it could be in front of me.
Simone was 4 years old when he was forced to leave Korea. His old address has led him here, where he hopes to trace his birth mother.
Maybe we can ask the farmer.
Okay, if you want to ask in English and I can translate, yeah.
안녕하세요. Can I ask you a question?
뭐 물어보고 싶으시다고.
I was born in the old village.
오, 여기는 옛날에 마을이 없었어요. 저 너머에 있었고, 이쪽으로 이렇게 옛날에 여기 미군 부대들이 많았기 때문에 그런 미군들을 상대할 수 있는 그런 업소들이 많이 있었어요.
Simone's father was a U.S. soldier stationed here near the 38th parallel, a border the U.S. drew to divide North and South Korea. The farmer believes he might have been born on the other side of this railroad.
Do you remember your mom's name? Do you want to ask?
귀자?
네.
이제 미군 부대 출입하는 아줌마들인데 이름을 그렇게 안 불렀어. 뭐 셀리, 한국 이름으로 잘 안 불렀어. 셀리 아줌마 아들이 낳았는데 거기도 입양을 갔어.
아, 혹시 혼혈이었나요?
그렇죠. 다 흑인 혼혈이 많았어요.
Simone was born in 1966 to a Korean mother who was working at a bar. She was pulled into prostitution the state orchestrated for U.S. soldiers.
She's gonna ask her little sister if she remembers those names.
They go call people and they all want to help. And
How do you feel when these people want to help you?
angry at myself because I've been so angry with Korea. And now I'm here and everyone's so nice.
그 셀리 아줌마 아들은 더 커서 입양 갔잖아. 더 컸지. 아니야, 그 아줌마는 아니야.
Although Simone hasn't made progress finding his mother, it's these interactions that are helping him feel grounded.
고생이 많았겠어. 이거 딱 하나밖에 없어. 비타민 C, 바이타민 C.
감사합니다.
아유, 너무 고생 많았겠다. 입양 갔어. 우리 찹쌀 만든 약과 이거 밀가루가 아니야.
감사합니다. 감사합니다.
봐봐도
감사합니다 very much. It's like, oh, in a minute I go crying or something. I always thought all Koreans hated mixed children, but it's not. Now I understand why I wasn't rooted in where I grew up in the Netherlands. Not that that was a bad place, but it's not. It's just not my place. Now I feel I came home. This is my place.
Although Simone feels welcomed, biracial children were historically not accepted in Korea. To rebuild the war-torn country, South Korea's first president Syngman Rhee, who was an authoritarian leader appointed by the U.S., enacted the xenophobic policy, one state for one ethnic people. Foreign adoption became a way to purify the nation. And although the U.S. military was complicit in systematically engaging with the sex trade, it took no responsibility for the children born from it. The fathers left Korea after completing their service.
The Americans always treated it as a war zone, and they could do anything they wanted. They were not there for the consequences.
That included biracial babies not being recognized by the government as citizens.
I couldn't get any civilian rights, so I couldn't go to school.
As a solution, local officials and social workers encouraged the impoverished mothers to send their children overseas.
The moment she went to city hall to find a school, they sent her away and say, "Oh, have him adopted." I mean, she was no criminal. For me, it goes beyond, lack of interest, both by the U.S. Army and the Korean government. This is, humiliation of people.
South Korea capitalized off that shame, becoming the world's largest exporter of adoptees. About 200,000 children have been sent abroad since the Korean War. 40 years of US-backed dictatorships allowed private agencies to circumvent proper child relinquishment.
With the way they export children like this, how do mothers cope? How do mothers cope? I can understand men, especially military men. There's this thing that they say, military men, when they go all over the place, they have children, and, but mothers, how do they even cope without their kids? I mean, I can't even imagine how hard it is for this man. He's even an old man. This man should be in his 60s, still searching for his mom. Will his mom even still be alive? It is so sad, and, biracial children do not have rights. When I heard that, oh my God, that one really struck me. And now he's looking for his mother. He doesn't even know where he's from. He doesn't, I don't know, honestly. And I don't know why they export. So there are lots of children like this. I'm sure a lot of them would have moved on with their lives, because they must have searched and searched and searched. They don't even know where they are from. They don't know where their father is from. They don't know where their mother is from. This guy, okay, he knows his mom's name. His mom was an ex-prostitute, or she was a prostitute. She was forced with prostitution or something like that. Some people would have even moved on with their lives. Once they search for a while and they don't find their parents, they just move on with their lives, no man. And I'm sure there are some people like that. But I know it must have been very hard for this man to actually grow up to this age, and he's still looking for his biological mother. This must be very sad. If you know in the comment section the in-depth story about this adoption story of Koreans and the US people, please let us know in the comment section, because I feel like this is so sad. I don't know how these kids get to grow up, get on with their lives like nothing has happened, and without the care of their parents. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I feel so sad for this man. And it's so loving to see that that people actually want to help him. They actually want to help him. You can see that woman was, even tried to call her sister to ask about certain name, and she even gave him food and all of that. It is so sad.
Relinquishment practices. Adoption was also used as a tool to strengthen diplomatic ties between the US and Korea. The US media portrayed adopting Korean children as a humanitarian mission.
Wow.
Thousands of mainly white families heeded the call, thinking they were rescuing orphans. But it turned out many of these children were not orphans. Motivated by profit and to make more children qualify for adoption, agencies sometimes falsified records, saying children with parents were orphans. That's what happened to Simone.
So it says I have no parents, which is a lie. The document where my mother signs off her parental rights. Well, it's the sickest thing that you can do to a person, of course. Taking away his family, his relatives, his roots.
Simone is one of hundreds who may have been wrongly made orphans on paper, mainly by two private agencies, Holt and Korea Social Service. The Danish Korean rights group found that in many cases, names, birth dates, and parent names were marked as unknown, even when the agencies had that information. The group found 46 adopted.
And are you sure that guy's name is Simone? Are you sure his age is even his right age? Are you sure? Because a lot of these things are falsified. So you're not even certain of who you are, right? If your parents, if they can falsify the fact that you're an orphan, when you actually have a parent, and then they can falsify that in papers, they can actually falsify your name. They can falsify your age, where you're from, and all of that. Oh dear, this is actually very sad. I feel so sad for Simone, because I personally would think that I think it's important that he knows his roots. I think it's very important. But I feel like a lot of people would have just moved on with their lives. But it's important that he looked for his roots. Maybe his mother also will be looking for him.
46 adoptees with the same verbatim story of how they were discovered as orphans, indicating the stories were fabricated. These emails shared with AJ Plus show agencies admitting to having altered records in the past.
For 40 years, I have been living on a lie. I was not an orphan.
It's horrific to be a product that people can sell and buy.
It was only in 2012 that foreign adoptions were required to go through family courts, ending the control agencies had over the process. But one of the main concerns adoptees share is that these same agencies are still profiting from overseas adoptions. Amid widespread accusations of corruption, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is investigating human rights violations linked to past military governments. In the meantime, there are mothers alive in Korea who are waiting to reconnect with their children. Ji is a woman who worked in the sex industry for U.S. soldiers. We're not using her full name and protecting her identity as her family members are uncomfortable with her sharing her past. State-sponsored prostitution remains a shameful topic to openly discuss in Korea.
State-sponsored prostitution. Please, if you know the gist about what's going on, let's know in the comment section. State-sponsored prostitution. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is a very sad reality of some people's lives. So, this is a very sad reality of some people's lives. State-sponsored prostitution. And then you come back to Korea and start your life like as if nothing happened. You don't even know where your kids are. You know, you come back to Korea and expecting that one day your child is going to walk into your arms. Man, this is hard.
In Korea.
우리 아들은 싫대 한국에. 나 보내달래 미국으로.
Ji says she was pressured to send her biracial child for adoption as he faced bullying from his peers.
그때 아들을 자꾸 주라고 그랬는데 나는 주고 싶지 않았는데.
어디를 줘요?
홀트.
Ji says she visited Holt Children's Services several times to look for her son, but to no avail as she had signed away her parental rights in the process.
그냥 안 됐어. 홀트에서 가르쳐 주질 않아. 쟤를.
Did they not read those documents before signing it? Did they not read those documents? Or at least even if they can't read, they would have asked someone to read the document before signing. Now they've signed away their child unknowingly. Now she's looking for her child. I feel like, I think now it is better. Maybe this happened a few years ago. Now, I think people that want to adopt has to go through due process. You have to go through like due process. You sign a lot of documents so that if anything happens, they can actually trace it back to somewhere, to a source. Honestly, please, if anybody knows the real gist to this story, I really want to know because this is actually very sad. Very sad.
죄를 져서 아들이 간다 했을 때 보내지 않아도 될 텐데 그 조그만 아들을 하나 내가 못 이겨서 그걸 보냈겠어? 얘가 그냥 맨날 울고 아휴 그래서 내가 안 보낼라 했는데도 마음이 걱정 마 내가 꼭 올 거야 그러더니 뭐 지금 50년이 다 됐는데 뭘 와.
Experts say at that time, social workers failed to make it clear that adoption meant never seeing the children again. Ji is currently battling cancer and has convinced herself the only plausible explanation behind her son's absence is his death.
Wayne, I don't know where you at. Maybe you be in heaven. I think you be in heaven, but I'll see you soon.
This is me, 4 years old, maybe 2 months before I left.
Simone, or Kwon-si, was sent for adoption by Korea Social Service, an adoption agency that inspected him over several days to advertise to his prospective family in the Netherlands.
This was them observing you if you were good enough to be adopted.
To be adopted, yeah.
And it says Kwon-si is a good-looking little boy. His complexion is slightly more dark than that of an average full Korean.
Many of the children were sent abroad with the promise of a better life, but being ripped away from his family has bled into every part of Simone's life.
So when I arrived in the Netherlands, I immediately started to pee in my bed almost every night. That took until I was 14 years old. I never really felt attached to my adoptive parents. I have a learning disorder, so school was a disaster. I was always very quiet. It was very hard to get friends and to keep friends. Well, and I had huge drugs problem, alcohol problem when I was in my 20s. Looking back, it's one blur. And I hope that improves, that I can find some peace of mind. But I don't know, time will tell.
I mean, I feel like I could feel his pain. I mean, not exactly how he feels, but I feel like I could feel what he feels. Because, you know, as a child, he had his adopted parents. And he has never even mentioned that they were not good to him or they were not nice to him. Obviously, probably they were good, but I mean, there's nothing like taking a child away from his parents. That love a parent brings to you. But he was 4. He was 4 years old. He obviously would have not really known so much, right? So why was he going through all of that? If he was adopted at 4 years old, I'm just imagining a 4-year-old child doesn't even know so much, like doesn't even know that much. I'm sure he will know his parents and all of that. And then when he's taken away from his parents to other people, he went through a lot as a child. I mean, he was peeing on his bed till 14. He had alcohol problem. He wasn't going, his academics was going down the drain. He wasn't concentrating in class and all of those horrible things. How did he grow up? His childhood must have been very, very horrible.
The Korean police are helping adoptees trace their biological parents by treating the search as a missing persons case. During a report, the investigation brought hopeful news to Simone.
The police now has found 94 women in the whole of Korea with the same name and the same birthday match. So I think that's a good chance.
Simone is prepared to reunite with his mom any day. During his journey in Korea, he carried with him a piece of his mother at all times.
This is what my mother made. And when she started, she told me that when it would be finished, I would leave her. So this one is very special to me. And hopefully it brings me some luck during my search.
Can you tell me a little bit about what this means to you?
The last gift, the last thing my mother did for me. Yeah, and that's why it's still hard. It was a sign of me going away, and I like to give it back as a sign of me, being back.
As Simone waits for the police to finish their investigation, he's looking for closure in his own way. He's meeting a group of women who formerly worked at a U.S. camp town. Some of the women worked in the same district as his mother.
So we're about to go in and meet the women. How are you feeling?
But tense? Is that a good word? Yeah, I think tense. Well, my mother is in the same group.
This was Simone's first time meeting G. As soon as they met, G began asking questions, comparing him to her son, who's 6 years apart in age.
How old are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you.
How old are you? Oh, 57.
Welcome to our center.
Thank you so much.
Where are you from?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands.
As Simone shared the few details of his mother he has, the women were eager to find similarities with her.
Now, how old are you, Mom?
In 10 days, she will be 79.
79.
In 10 days.
Me 79.
Yeah.
You don't have no picture.
I don't have a picture of her.
No picture of.
Although Simone visited the center to get closer to his mother, he unexpectedly brought the women a sense of connection as well.
그러니까 한번 악수하고 싶어서 나도 생각이 났어. 10년 됐다. 딱 이제 10년 됐어요. 그래서 찾을 수 있어. 죽지 않았으면 찾아줘.
As G and Simone have discovered missing parts of themselves in each other, they're already hoping to reunite.
If I leave, I know that I see you.
Yeah, I will be here again. It's a bit weird because I had all these questions and things I wanted to talk about, but it's okay. And I wish that in the whole of Korea people would care for them, but I don't know. I know now that I have to study hard when I get home and learn Korean. God bless you. See you next year.
더 보면 눈물 나와.
Bye. Bye.
Oh my gosh, this is really sad. I feel like he had a connection with that woman, the woman walking with the crutches. He had a very good connection with her, but she was not his mom. I feel like this would be a little bit harder for Simone because he doesn't have pictures of his mother, so it will be a bit difficult for him, but he's still on the search. I mean, he hasn't found her yet. All the women are either not, you know, the same age and all of that. I don't know how he's going to connect and know her if he doesn't have a picture of her, apart from her name and her birthday. I don't know how he intends to find her. I'm hoping that, you know, I'm sending so much love to him, hoping that he finds his mom. I mean, he's an old man and his mom is also an old lady. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if anybody knows the story of how the end of this story, if he finds his mom or not, I mean, let's hope she's not dead. Let's hope they reconnect before she dies, because she's also pretty old. And let's hope that she's somewhere waiting for him and they connect someday. This is so sad. I mean, this is really sad. Now a lot of the Korean police are now, you know, helping these people, the adopted kids, look for their mothers. And I think it's a beautiful thing to do. It's a noble thing to do for them, to help them reconnect with their families. Yeah. Let's know what you think about this video. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, drop a comment on what you think about this video. Okay, so I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.